you doing? We might talk about some current headlines. Let's see, talk about blood plasma, the Red Cross, perhaps, the Blue Cross, the vampirism, and the toxicity of blood and what they're talking about. There's a bunch of going on here, and this one headline that we can extract. So we'll get to it when a couple of people show up. So if you're new here, I am Zen, and I usually wait till people get here to start talking, so perhaps you'll want to fast forward if you come here in the future. What up, what up? And also the executive decision today was I'm not going to the French Quarter because it's tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday is a festival. Like 250 bands. So I figured if I went there tonight, I'd get stuck down there because there's fireworks and all sorts of things going on. It would screw up my day. And it's going to be a nice day tomorrow. It's going to be like 85. Today it's kind of overcast. So my executive decision was, they can come talk to you guys. Because if I went out tonight, I probably wouldn't see you guys till Monday. Even that. Well, if anybody wants to join me, I'm going to make a drink. Feel free to go ahead and mix yourself up something or drink what you got. Some divine. Yeah, I really wanted to go out because I wanted to see the fireworks. And also, it is, they have, it's like Navy Day. It's a couple days of it where the Navy ships come through. And you can get on them and hang out. And it's, they were doing a cook-off between the people in the kitchen and like local chefs. And, yeah, I wanted to go do all that, but it's just been kind of overcast, and I figured I'd rather just get up tomorrow early and go to a parade and then watch an insane amount of live music tomorrow. And I'll try to film some or try to get on live with you guys, but I don't know how loud it will be and how much chaos will be occurring. But in a second here, we're gonna get in that headline, headline was basically blood donations will get rid of forever toxins in the blood. Now, I've never heard that term before. Basically, what they were talking about is things that are really difficult to get out of the body, which for most people, they would be stuck there. Like plastics and all sorts of different chemicals and things. They get stuck in the body, no good. Most of us know how to get rid of that kind of stuff. So their suggestion is to give blood. So why is their suggestion to give blood? What's the connection to the Red Cross, blood plasma in general, and vampirism and these type of things? I think it's pretty obvious. Like I think the vampiric nature of blood sucking and taking someone's energy and blood plasma. I think that's almost certainly been done. And what they did is they just decided to outsource the concept. If they could still walk around you. All they need is the blood. They don't need to go get it themselves. So if they just get everybody to give blood, then they don't gotta actually go bite anyone the next time. They're like, we didn't have anything to do with it. They're vampires. They're gonna live for quite a while, huh? So they just get the Red Cross to do it. So it looks like you're doing a favor to everyone else. And what's the worst? Even if your blood is tainted, what are they going to do? They're going to put it through a centrifuge, they're going to clean it out, and they're going to get the purity of it that they want anyways. And they sterilize it by putting it in a silver chalice. That's the idea of why the silver spoon people. So if there's anything raw or even blood, it would sterilize it. But on the good side here is This goes back into using leeches and bloodletting in the sense of hijama, cupping, wet cupping. I mean, anybody that's done cupping knows that the health benefits to it. They don't see how that's functioning in the source of bloodletting, although it is, because it's running your blood through your system, but still coming out. It's still cleansing it. But if you wet cup, you're taking the blood out as opposed to leeches, which makes complete sense. This has the idea of like women that supposedly the idea is women live longer because they have periods and they're letting out heavy metals. And they say that if some people get too much iron, it's a big conversation in that community of what people think they know. But anyways, it's so they're letting some of their blood out and getting rid of dirty, toxic blood. So if you were to let if you get leeches, when you get sick, they'll suck the dirty blood out of you. Wet cupping. There's no difference between a leech, a vampire, a needle, and a cup that you prick your skin and suck the blood out. No difference. So it's pulling thick, gelatinous, dirty blood out of your system. There's also the way of cleaning it internally with distilled waters, urine, that's your own plasma anyways, perhaps distilled liquids, green juices, etc., etc. There's plenty of ways to clean it like a fish tank, right? What's up? Beef heart? What's up, Skull? They were also helping people to detox from the Jabberwockies. I'm gonna say I assume it does. It's got to. It no matter what's in there, even if it is what a lot of people suggest as graphene oxide or other types of black goo, magnetic or otherwise, here it is pulling it out of your system. So I can't see why it wouldn't be helpful. The advantage to donating blood is they get the blood, and there's all sorts of things they can do with that. So the advantage to you drinking your piss, using cupping, wet cupping, leeches, then you're not giving your blood away for them to do experiments or whatever the hell they do with it. But I don't see why that wouldn't work. Whether it's from a needle or cupping or whatever. Yeah, with the Parthenon in the background. Yeah, you've seen the lions, right? Can you see the lions right there? See the lions? Rawr. So where else to go with this? I think I covered the angles of it. I mean, basically, it's doing a job. I think if you're scaredy cat pants, go ahead and give your blood away. I guess I wouldn't, but I can't see it not being helpful. If you're too scaredy pants to do wet cupping on yourself or have somebody else that you trust do it, then do dry cupping. There's nothing scary about that. At least it's still going to run through your system, and it's probably not. It's going to be a more difficult time cupping out. And I don't know who's really going to be using leeches. Although you can there are doctors, even in the U.S., that use leeches to remove blood. Like if somebody's got a really bad wound, gangrene, something, they'll use leeches to clean it up. For me, the route for anyone that had gotten that or have a dirty blood in any way, had got the stabby wounds, clean the blood internally with green juices. Terp probably is helpful. Hydrogen peroxide, MMS, as well as MSM is probably good too. Miracle Mineral Solution and monosulfide. What's the other one? I forget the other word in that. Monosulfide. MSM. It's usually good for joints and other things, but It also helps detox the body. So hydrogen peroxide, juices, green stuff. Detox it that way, and then do cupping, massage, the normal things. But if you really want to get to it, wet cupping's where it's at. I just don't, just again, don't go the route giving it away to someone else. They're using it either to, sell it, or possibly extract something from it. Maybe your DNA. I don't know, or it's making them more powerful, energetically, internally, and financially. So it doesn't make a lot of sense to give it away. And it's also quite invasive. And they'll pay you a couple $100s for it. See, like, wow. So if they're giving you money, everything else you do in the world of pharmaceuticals and doctors and things, you're paying for. They'll give you money, then your blood must be worth a lot more. If they're willing to give you $100 to $200, then what's it really worth then? It's got to be a lot. I'll tell you this much: they did a whole thing on this a couple years ago, and they were talking about like how children's blood is worth more. Well, of course it is, because it's going to be less toxic, and there's going to be different chemicals in it. Of course it would be. But if your blood is already clean, so this gets into like they want children's blood. Well, I mean, if your blood is clean, they would probably want that too. But you've been around too long. You've already eaten too much crap. You already took in too many chemicals. But the idea of having pure blood, whatever. Yeah, get the suck the poison out, right? Yeah, I mean, well, here's the thing, Divine. I don't necessarily believe in the way they present DNA at all, because it's all analyzed in a computer, and how many different CT, AT, C, and Gs are there? You can't prove any of it. I have somebody manually sit there and do that all day, and then show me the code completely. It would never get done in a lifetime. There's too much to study. So having a computer analyze it, then you got to trust the computer's output. I just seen an app on the phone. It was here's where we are. It was an app for your phone that you could cough. Yes, this is real. That you could cough, and it would analyze it, and it would tell you if you had the C word. Yep. And it was supposedly 92% effective, and now a couple big corporations, including the one that is the basically owns all the news media at this point. The one that's doing all the jabbies. They want to buy like the company basically for like many millions of dollars, so they can have the technology, which isn't even a technology at all. It's just that they've supposedly done the studies and the research, and so they've paid for Stanford or John Hopkins to do a study, to do the research, to go, oh yeah, this is 92% effective. We've already peer reviewed, and that's paid for to be altered and legitimized through So they're like, oh, we don't have to do that. It's already done. So we'll just buy the patent, even though all it's doing is like it's telling you that maybe you do because your cough sounds like this, and if it sounds like this, then it's not that. But that's how they're analyzing it now. That's insane. That's where we are in this world. So I don't really I don't put any any weight to that shit. But yeah, but I mean, you are right. Like that's the point. I just, when people say harvesting and DNA, blah blah blah. So from that level, yes. But it must be something else, because if they're willing to pay for it, then it's got to have an interest on it, right? There would have to be an investment So if I go to, you know, give blood or give plasma, same difference, right? But the difference is one you go to as a donation center in the hood, and one you go to in the suburbs. Yes, this is real. Look it up. Look up the difference between the suburban places and the places in the hood. How much money and what it's called. And the difference is, in the hood they know they're getting it from melanated people, so the blood is going to be different. This goes really deep. I don't want to get into all that esoteric stuff here. I don't want to. How about up, Swan? I don't have any snacks, bro. Oh, the Swan came over. Hi, baby. I don't have any snacks right now. I'm so sorry. You want to see my bro? Or my chick? I don't know what to call her. Hi, baby. Sorry, I do not have any snacks for you today. I know. So, yeah, so one is called like a blood donation center, one's called a plasma center. They give different amounts, and, you know, obviously suburban people, like, they would be giving blood for a different reason. I mean, they're both, you're giving blood. There's just a different donation center. So from the level of the most expensive thing sold on the planet right now is melanin. It's more expensive than gold, right? Melanin. How are they getting that? So this goes deeper into like how certain beings can turn sunlight into melanin and others can't, because there's power in what would be called, when you say black power, you're talking about like the black sun, or what melanin. If it's so expensive, there must be a reason. So why would they be paying you for your blood? Why wouldn't you just do it out of the goodness of your heart? Why wouldn't you do it for a free milkshake? What's up, man? Eleanor Rigby? What's that Beatles Eleanor Rigby joint? So I mean, if you really consider how much blood is really needed, like, okay, as someone's losing blood, we need a pint of blood stat. They were selling blood for like, I think it was $7,000 a pint, like during the height of the C word, because that was a big thing. You could get the yellow blood plasma, which is urine, but there's a couple other things obviously in blood that is not going to be in the urine. So they're giving you $100 and making $7,000 off it. I mean, yeah, obviously they got to put it through a centrifuge and look at it and see what kind of compounds are in there, and see, you know, are you O, are you A, are you you know, which, I mean, blood types are another big thing. I mean, if one is able to give to all the rest, but then you go down, like, what is the universal donor? What's called null? So there's blood called null. So there's O, A positive, A, B negative, all that, right? So you got the rhesus gene, monkey gene. So to anybody, that would say there was a hybridization. So if you're Rh positive, then it would seem that you were hybridized with some sort of gene of monkey, like in a laboratory, quite literally, you'd be hybridized. Where if you're negative to that, then since it's like what blood can be traded and which one is the universal donor? Is that the universal donor is like O negative, right? Is that right? So there's like that's a huge thing too. But the interesting thing about blood typing something is how could you know someone's blood type? I mean, what do we know about people's history, heritage? How do you find out a blood type? I mean, I'll tell you how. You're using antibodies and antigens, and as you if you have antigens in your body, if you have, you're going to produce the opposite to basically keep yourself alive. And so, if you don't know this, I'm kind of screwing this talk up a little bit here, but think of it this way: if you're in the womb, and say your mom or your dad has the AIDS or the HIV or whatever, doesn't necessarily mean you get it. And sometimes children will end up with a different blood type. You're supposed to get your mother's or something. And I did it the whole thing in this a while ago. I just forget which direction it worked, but they end up with a different blood type, and because it's working with antibodies and antigens. And so throughout a lifetime, I don't see why you couldn't change your blood type. If you go to somewhere else and started eating different and started interacting with different things, you would be producing different antibodies. So the antigens that were causing anti-generation, then you produce antibodies to counteract that. Through a lifetime, you could change your blood type. Why wouldn't you? Because those are the compounds within the A's, the B's, the O's, and whatever. And how many of them are? How many of them do you have the correct antibodies for? This one is so like, this one is just straight eyeing me right now. Like, why don't you have my snacks? What are you doing? It's so funny. There's like other people around, and then Swan's like, no, I'm fucking with this one. Swan life, yeah. Oh man, I need to get here. Anybody want to one of these days want to buy me a gift? You know what I want? It's really inexpensive. I want one of those little tripod chairs. You know, like the miniature human, like little. You just unfold them and there's a tripod. I want one of those things. It should be pretty cheap. If anybody wants it, feel free. You can donate to me, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, and tell me to buy one. Or you can send me one. But you know, if you send me one, then you gotta do that whole thing. And I don't know which one of you. I don't know if I trust all of you having my address. Like, I've given my address out before, it didn't work out well. Anyways, what else we covered? We covered some things about blood, antigens, ABs. I have a whole series on that. If it's not out, remind me if anybody wants to watch it. Just hit me up somehow, either on here or through TheoLuminous Gmail. Hit me up on there. Let me know if you want to check it out. So I got a bunch on golden blood, the blood types. Man, I think I did like a series of 6 different videos. Leukocytes and yeah, there was some cool shit. So if you're ever interested, it just was so long ago. I just I go through and I make this I compile this information, and I'm just like, get it back out. It's like cramming for a test or something, and it all makes sense to me. And then I just got to rehash and kind of overview it to remember. Oh, what up, Earth? What is you? Is AB? Is that you? I don't remember which one I am. Although my blood type, when I looked at it, I remember it being one of the major ones from like the Philippines, which is interesting. A lot of people used to be like, "You're Filipino." And I'm like, really? I never got that. And then like I would meet people that are Filipino, like, "Oh, you're definitely Filipino." And then when I looked at when I did a blood type test, it was that blood type that was popular there. It was more popular there than anywhere else. Yeah. Oh, so you're O plus a monkey. I mean that would be that's the interesting thing is we can make giant wild assertions on things that seem to be right. Like, okay, there was people, you know, our last generation almost certainly very intelligent, free energy. Then there was some things that happened. It was written in the Bible. And you get the Elohim, and you get the good gods, the fallen angels, people coming from other realms, and then mad scientists that were splicing genes. And then we can get into like the hybrid beings, and then the hybrids with the apes. You know, we call it Planet of the Apes. We didn't come from apes. They just use some of their gene because it held so much in common with the god genes, like whatever they came from. They're like, oh, it's almost the same except for they're missing a few things. And so they use that as a base. Like, oh, it's easier to just grab ape gene, monkey gene, whatever. Then we don't get to take all of ours. We can just take little pieces of it and put it in the code, right? So we can go through that, but it would be nice to know. Like some people are like, for real, that's actually what happens. Oh, let's do that. Okay, cool. I mean, I think there's quite a few people out these days that have made as close to a correct history as possible, and one would be Iwaran, pretty close. Then you got the ones that filled in all of the blanks that he didn't get to, and a lot that he based his work on. If you don't know, you should go watch that. He's got two big series out, and I'll remind people, if you do watch it, turn the speed up to his voice. His voice will just start annoying you, and it's almost a his voice is almost a it's a tone, timbre, and you know how somebody talks in a way that is hypnotic. It would put people into trances, and I think it's just the way he talks. I don't think at all that was his training or what he was trying to do. I just think that's the way he likes to narrate something. Because if you narrate something, you should have a little bit of trance-like quality to your voice because you want people to pay attention and listen. But anyways, just it'll annoy you. Turn it up to like 1.5, 1.75. Who else? Iwaran and well, you have everybody else that came from different backgrounds in it. Like, what did we learn from who, and who has the biggest body of work on what? Like Eric Dubay with the flat Earth. Then you got Crater Earth people that have been out recently and giving you ideas like the underground, and you got the mud flooders, and that's a whole collection of people. And then you have people that did they cross referenced like flat Earth, the Bible, and mud floods, right? And then you have like the electric universe theory. They're still on the heliocentric model, but yet they're giving you a lot of other ideas. And then you have the people that came out with the idea of the Earth being a computer board, a motherboard that we're living on top of, not inside of. There's a lot of good research out there, and it makes way more sense than whatever we've been given. Like, really, like if you were to like know nothing, and then like you walk down the middle of the street, and on one side you see heliocentric model and Civil War and all of the history and everything we've been taught, like that we know from our training, our institutionalization within these indoctrination centers. And then you have whatever the free thinkers and the people that are like engineering something, backwards mapping it, and they look over here and like, okay, it's probably flat and the realm's bigger, and here's all the things. You would there's no one that would walk over to the heliocentric model and be like, yeah, all this shit sounds right. No one would do that. That's the hardest thing to try to explain to someone. Is that like when I say to someone like, erase your mind, vanish everything you think you know. They can't really do that. You have to start with a completely empty mind, and like you don't know anything. So you have to come at it from looking at here's multiple choice, and you don't know anything about the like what a teacher told you. You'd have to just figure it out. Context clues. It's like whenever you hear a word you don't know, but if you're keen on English, you can figure it out by what's around it and you can figure out what a word means. So it's like the world in general. It's like called backwards mapping or contextual clues. Most people have no capacity to do that because they're always going to hold on to their religious beliefs, whether it's scientific religion, scientism, or it's religion itself, or it's training by their parents, or whatever else. They're going to hold on to it. Like if I was like, hey, let me show you how to do Vedic math, but they're like so used to doing math the way they do it, it's going to look crazy to them. I'm like, it's faster, it works better, it makes way more sense. They wouldn't be able to accept it or apply it for a very long time. It's like I was trying to explain to somebody the value of white rice, and because their system of valuation is whatever the pop nutrition and these people that are all into the nutrition world, they're siding with that. Well, we must know more, and okay, the news is lying, but these people know something. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm talking about like 6,000 years plus history of what white rice does. I'm talking about traditional Chinese medicine and Ayurveda, and I'm going to explain to you what this does. And they can't see it because white rice is poisonous and it's starch and has nothing to it, and it is not healthy for the system at all whatsoever. And I was like, well, that's just classifiably false. Let me show you why. And they won't accept it because they just jump on that pop narrative. Well, I gotta find it. I gotta point the finger somewhere. I'm like, well, explain to me, like, why? How is the Indian and Native American culture is like that's a staple of their food? That's a staple of their diet. Well, no, that's no good. It's the fact that they have so many other things that it counterbalances that. I was like, I don't think you understand what you're saying. I was like, it's a staple of their diet. That means it's the primary food, the primary food ingredient. So there's not other things that counteract that. Basmati and balsamic. I've never tried that. Sounds really interesting. This is another new fun one for me. Traumatic brain injuries. Well, I was watching this. I'll do the next show on this video I just watched. It's by let me see if I can get his name right now and tell you the name of the video. Mind Unveiled. Listen close. His name is Mind Unveiled. He's got like 111,000 subs. Awesome researcher. Really he studies both sides of the coin. You can tell he's a good dude. You can tell by his voice. You'll know immediately. And he did a video 4 days ago, and he was talking about what is called the heirlooms. Not heirlooms like HEIR, like fruits and seeds, but a loom that used the air to spit things out into reality to basically put people into a hypnotic state. So they could change and alter history and memories that people have. They would put a bunch of substances into the air that people would then breathe in and then suggest things to them that they would implant memories. It would be almost like having a traumatic brain injury that then you just woke up and you were like, you have no idea. It was like, you ever see those movies where they blow pixie dust in your face and then you just gloss over and then they suggest something to you and you come outside of the hypnotism and everything in reality has changed. Now you can do this for a good reason, a positive reason, a very helpful reason, which I think has been done plenty of times. But there's oftentimes they reset society and they add traumas and don't take them away. If that makes any sense. So in the past, the past resets and things are happening. The idea was that there was these ancient technologies that were in the 1700s. There was such of a high degree that when you start looking at all the tools and things that they start using as weapons of war were way more advanced than we could even imagine today. That we're touching the surface of. That they're using, half of it is, information technology and radio waves and frequencies and microwaves and et cetera, but they were using things at a higher level. And so were they trying to kill off a bad species and killed off some good people? I don't know. But the reset of society definitely happened, and a lot of the technology got burnt away as well. Which again goes back to his name is Mind Unveiled, and it was 4 days ago. Check that video out. It's heavy duty awesome. It's about psychiatry, the Great Reset, and I forget, it was a pretty long title. But I'm going to make myself another batch, hope you guys don't mind. Yeah, I gotta watch it. I only watched it bits and pieces. I was doing something else. I was being a fat ass and making like all of the tacos. I made so many tacos today. I just kept eating and eating. I have those days. And so it was kind of like in the background. I wish I could give you a better explanation of it, because usually what I do is I watch a bunch of shit or read a bunch of things that other people don't have time for or the brain capacity to handle, and then I'll put it into some sort of I'm like a mama birdie. I digest it and then I regurgitate it like into all of your ear holes. Anyways, I didn't get to watch the whole thing, so I'm able to do that right now. But I'll try to get to it soon. And hopefully I can bug out with you guys over the weekend. Even though the weekend starts on the Thursday this week. It's quite challenging to have. So this weekend, I've already said this to a couple people. There's the French Quarter Festival, which there's 250 different bands, 20 different live stages. They closed most of the French Quarter down, and so it's all day for 4 days, like 10 to 10. And then when it's done on Monday, then you get like almost a week off, and then there's the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Festival, which is right next to my house. Well, if I go on the roof, I can kind of watch it and listen to it. It's pretty awesome. But that's another 200 big name bands. It's right at the racetrack. So like I'm gonna have to like try to find how do I fit in 2 weekends. Well, that's actually not. Then it's a third weekend after that, and there's events during the week. How do I fit that all in and still maintain a regular life? Well, there's all this good music here. It's too much sometimes. I'm not complaining. It's like living in the garden, and you have all the fruits to eat and all and you're like, I don't know what to do today. There's so much. And if anybody wants to, thumbs up are always valid. Those work. Donations are even better, considering I do have a 4-day weekend here. And it will cost me a few dollars to get around. Say a Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, description box. And maybe that's what I'll do is I'm probably gonna interact with some substances, and then I can give you some trip reports on substances and psychedelic experiences and such. See if I can't do something in the realm of frequency, amplitude, realm alteration, etc., etc. That will probably be a follow-up show, just to let you all know. So you can all donate to my You can also donate to those experiences. And you could live vicariously through me, right? You know, you ever want to jump into somebody else's body and like, how fucking cool would that be? It's pretty fucking cool being me. Okay, all you have to do is if you just put an intention, send me a couple bucks, and be like, hey, buy this beverage, buy this psychedelic, buy this whatever. I'll go do that, and then I'll go listen to some music, and you could like download it in your brain. And if you can't, then I'll make a video of it afterwards. So what else? I do wonder about the structures, the pyramids. So we have like Parthenon type things like this behind me. Then you got the pyramids, and the pyramids that some are made to mimic the inside of the human skull, the king's chamber and the queen's chamber, where light comes in and goes to the pineal, and the other one goes to the pituitary, and then one falls down to the basement where that's basically your esophagus. That's how the Great Pyramid works. Look at a side profile of the. Look up how the Great Pyramid is a mimicry of the human skull. It lines up perfectly with the pineal, pituitary, and then off to the rivers that work beneath it. And then you have the healing chambers that were so mathematically perfect. So like a human being couldn't have done it really. You would have had it would have to be like CAD, like computer aided design and drawing and design. It would have to be graphed out with a computer. Like a human, as good as you are at something, I don't care that somebody can sit there with a, you know, little fucking monocle on or a zoom in, you're crafting something. It couldn't happen as on such a large scale as it has happened, right? So if you build it with all of these ancient things, to me seem to be printed, and it was all done with the concept that the human mind came up with, right? But like in my mind, I can't do math fast enough, nor build something fast enough. Although I get the concept of how a color relates to a sound, relates to the smell, relates to a healing, something healing the human body. So I could build a temple, pyramid that had the exact ratios that are how far is it from the pineal or pituitary to this to that, and do it. And how's the skull looking? I could plug that in a computer and it'll figure it out instantaneously, rather than me sitting there for a week trying to do all the math on it, and it's not going to get it wrong. And then I can hit a button and have a robot design it so that way a human could walk in there and heal themselves. So everything we're looking at from ancient world almost certainly was 3D printed. Oh, healing pyramid, that's so awesome. I've been watching this cat on the Instagrams, and he's got really cool pyramids that he rocks all the time. I mean, the shit he sells, like he's into scalar stuff, and like he knows what he's talking about, but it's just out of my price range to be fucking with what he's doing. But he knows what's up. He's always rocking a pyramid on his head. It's hollow inside. Well, that's the most important part, is what kind of echo chamber will be inside of the pyramid. If you make it so, a lot of the ones you'll find in Mexico. Well, there are some in Egypt too. The insides, they'll make an echo in there that when you get in the room, it's vibratory, like it's vibrations. And when you consider they're harmonic, and when you consider that these things were made out of piezoelectric things, you know, electronic sound compression to electronically charge something. You know, if you hit granite with a hammer, it's gonna cause a piezoelectric charge. So something that has nothing to do with what you would consider electricity Throws off electrical energy. Oh, you got the Tesla plates? Yeah, I've heard about those. I never seen anyone in person. Hey, what up, duckos? Wop 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 wop. Hi, wop wops. What are you doing? I've never seen one, or like I've studied them a long time ago. But what are you doing, quacks? Huh? Wop 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 wop. You guys come up here. Come on. Come here. Wop 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 wop. Yeah, aren't those the things like you can put food on and it just won't go bad? I mean, there's other ones that you could build that your boy Arcturus Raw, he built a couple rooms that you could inside of a room you could put a food item and it wouldn't go bad or mold. Like he put a piece of cheese in there. He's like, this should just rot and go moldy and get mildew on it. And he's like, he comes back in a week and it just, all it is hard. It doesn't, he's like, it doesn't smell. It's just, yeah. So you can build rooms to like, it's kind of like when you put something in a clay pot, keep it cold, doesn't go bad. But if you put it in a refrigerator, what's happening with the refrigerator is because it's rocking. A refrigerator is rocking at like 80 hertz. Well, that 80 hertz is causing the food to decay anyways. The coldness is doing something, but the 80 hertz that's rocking at is killing the food. It's killing the nutrition from it. I watched a video the other day, and it was on electrical converters in your house. So you have what comes from the lines, the electrical lines, and then what comes into your house. And the thing that is sitting there letting the energy into your house is sitting there at a different frequency. So if it's coming to your house at say 80 hertz and this is reading 50 hertz, it's not in unison. So it's actually taking more energy to cause the same exact amount of amperage to occur. So it's drawing more amperage. So you have to pay more. So like if you have a $100 electrical bill because it's drawing more because it's not phase conjugate. It's not in phase alignment. Right? So if this is sitting here going dun, 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 and this is going dun, 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 it's not in alignment, right? So it's causing friction and chaos, and that's causing it to request more energy than is required. If you conjugate the phase conjunction, if you correlate the frequency modulation, then it will work in harmony and unison and require less energy, but still work and give the same amount of power because it's not interrupting the modulation of the energy. Modulation of frequency and amplitude is all that matters in that realm. Right? This is amperage and frequency. How quickly and how big. Quick to hear and how big, how strong, right? If something isn't in alignment, one of those is gonna have to go completely out of phase. But if you put those in phase, it's simple to do.
Right down, keep it tight.
And also here, if you should know something, know this, that the Great Pyramid and those big ones, so you see how they're four-sided? They're not four-sided. They're eight-sided. This is correct. It's eight-sided. In fact, it's nine-sided. Let's really break this down. The bottom is flat. That's one. And then you think there's four sides, but literally each side is sitting there at about a 1 degree angle where it comes into the middle and causes 8 sides that you would see. You can't see it because it's so minimal, but it does come. It comes to another corner there. It's not 4-sided. It's 9-sided. And it was not. So you'd say, here's the upgrade. So it's not. It's either 4 or 8-sided, and if you want to include the bottom, then it's 9-sided, which is master number. But if you want to get right to it, 4-sided doesn't make sense. Why not make a pyramid that's 3-sided? 3-sided is more powerful than 9, or than 4, excuse me. So why wouldn't they make the pyramids 3-sided? Because a pyramid is like, everything about it is 3, right? So why have 4 sides to a 3-sided pyramid that makes 12? We don't want 12. We want 9. So you do a 3-sided pyramid. Try making one. Everybody sells 4-sided pyramids. First of all, again, the biggest pyramids are 8-sided. And the correct math to me seems it would be 3-sided. Well, I mean, the 7 would work too. So you just got to mess with it a little bit, right? But if you were to make a pyramid, everything is 3 about it, right? You should be able to look at it from any side. It's 3, but they make them 4. And those capacitors are like, they square something. But you should triangulate it, I think. I think that keeps the energy not breaking. It's hard to. I'd have to do a whole show on it. I'll do the math on it for you. But I touched on it before. It's too much to explain right now. Yeah, apparently all of my so whoever doesn't know this, I'm starting a channel with Hana, and it's going to be devoted to basically astrology and tarot and etymology and numerology and shit like that. And she like woke up and like sent me. I told her like I had these crazy dreams the other day, and she goes, "Oh, I looked up your chart for that night." And she goes, shows me the chart, and it's really, even from my point of view, like I don't know what all of the conjunctions and all this shit means. She goes, well, your Mercury was in Venus and your da-da-da, and she's going through the whole thing. And she's like, I was like, so what does that mean? She's like, everything is like lined up for you. I was like, oh, is that why I had these like crazy days? So is that why all this shit is happening? Like, that's so hilariously good. She's like, yeah, basically. So when you said yeah, so like right now when you were saying that something is in something, moves in Sag, yeah, we have that we have that eclipse coming up. We have the full moon that just happened, and we have a bunch of other really interesting transits and triangulations and all that shit. Maybe I'll post what she sent to me. She's like, and I was like, why is all of my shit like lined up? Like I'm looking at all the planets, I'm looking at all where all the things are, and everything isn't like in 2 systems. I'm like, isn't there 12 systems? She's like, yeah, but nothing's over anywhere else. It's all right there. I was like, that's crazy. Yeah. Hey, Sai, I'll ask her after the show. Maybe we'll try to figure out how to do a show either on her channel now, or somehow on my, or maybe we'll do a Skype or something. You guys can join. But yeah, there was all of the weird shit like. Within 2 houses, there were 7 different signs and 8 conjunctions and 45 half-breed dinosaurs and like, I don't know. Oh, nice. Well, that would be good. That'd be nice to come up on some of that. That's definitely been required. Mm. What up, quacks? Yeah, I mean, yeah, like, so I probably would do the same thing if I had infinite cash as if I had little cash. It'd be similar. It'd be different in the sense that I would probably do it from different places. You know what I mean? And I'd probably be a little. I would probably more people would be around. You know, and it would be a different energy to what I would give, but I'd still do this. If I was sort of kind of wealthy, I probably wouldn't do this so much. Because if I was sort of kind of wealthy, it'd probably imply that I had a job that I was like, all right, let me make 6 figures. Then I probably wouldn't do this. If I was like, I'd still do this. That's good. I mean, hopefully, I mean, enough people that are into astrology are like, oh yeah, you've been putting so much out there, you should be getting a return on your investment pretty soon. Like, you should be getting paid pretty much a lot for what you do. I'm like, yeah, like, I've been thinking that for a while now. I was like, how many years I've been doing this at this point? Like, have I not already put enough out there? It's somewhere between, like, do I just reset the entire thing and just do it from a different platform and make everybody pay? Or do I just go, well, here, have it all for free and just see what happens? $5 years now, huh? Yeah, it is kind of crazy, huh? So it's really, you know what? Time is much, like, whenever I think about when I met someone and when I've known them and how and what it's a really, like, I literally have a hard time thinking about even like when I've lived in the city, like where I met them. Like, I think maybe I just lived so many places. I have a hard time framing that out. I don't. It's always I'm like, no shit, it's been that long, huh? Yeah, I sometimes think about the people that I've met, like where and how, but well, Divine, that all sounds good. I like that. Yeah, I mean, when you break it down to days, then you say 5, and then you got to go, okay, that's 1,500, 6, 3, that's 1,800 and 30 days. Off the top of my head, I can do that math. Okay, a computer would have done it a lot quicker, but that many days at least, plus, like whatever was invested into those times that we got to bug out and chat, like whatever, like that's always weird, man. You know what the funniest thing for me is the tarot and the astrology that I taught so much about. I think it's because I don't want to know it as well as other people do. Because I think I would rest my laurels on it, and I would use, how I've met people through the years that they know astrology very well, or they read tarot and they're like, this is the only thing that matters. They'd be like, oh well, this is this, so this is what's going to happen, and they give up their entire they give up their entire autonomy. They give up their own self-worth, their control over the universe. I don't mean control, but influence, right? Where they'll be like, well, this is what the stars are saying. I'm like, baby, the stars are inside of you. You're controlling those. Yes, if you look out, that's you, but okay, now you got to deal with some of that, and here the stars are here now, and there's the moon, and here's the sun, and maybe it's a cloudy day. But once you put too much time and effort and investment into those positions in the sky, you forgot that you're sitting here and that you can control everything on this ground floor that then will reflect back into the sky. You could change the entire night sky. And so as much as I know him for so many years, I've never sat down too hard with the book, because if I did and I knew, yeah, if you know that science, then I think I would be understudied by the idea that that's where that is in the sky, and I would go through it and I would learn it, and I'd be like, all right, these 12 planets mean this. Here's the houses, and here's the things, and it would make sense to me, and I would get it completely. But then I think I would rely on it too much, where that I wouldn't allow spontaneity and different influences to interact with them. I'd be like, oh well, today I'm not going to interact with a Taurus, because my Mercury is set over here in the Leo sign, and I don't want to fight with this person. Where maybe what that doesn't tell me is, well, that person should be fought with today, or maybe I need that lesson. That doesn't tell you that. It can't tell you that. It can tell you what is and how it interacts and intermingles. It doesn't tell you what to do or how to do it, which is a good thing about astrology. But then you'd rely on it too much to only take the Fifth Avenue, walking down. Like walking down, like you'd only take the middle path, and that'd be a boring life. And then you'd be like, oh, it's like people that read the Bible. You're gonna just follow the middle path. You're gonna follow the middle pillar. So you have no free will. Follow the tarot. You have no free will. I let it be a map. They can all be maps, but a map is not a map and a menu. In the same way, it's not a meal. A menu is not a meal, and a map is not the landscape. And your experiencing reality is not what the stars are telling you. Because you have an influence. Again, you have an influence over the map, because you can take a different direction that's not on there. You have an influence over the menu, because you could look at everything on the menu and ask someone in the kitchen to cook you something different, and they'll do it. And if you look at the sky and say, hey, I'm not really impressed with what's going on here, you could change the stars in the sky. Yeah. Well, sorry, we said that's for the other half. I just know my tendencies. I don't lean on my laurels. I don't. But it would, if it was so simple to do, and it was like every time I knew how to win a card game, I would probably do it. You know what I mean? Like if it's gonna win me $50, I'm gonna do it. And you get to the point, then you're like, all right, then you're gonna let your kid win, and you're gonna not win every time, and you're gonna surprise yourself or whatever. But I just think I'd lean out too much. Yeah, less on your oral laurels. Your Laurel and Hardy's. That's what they call it. What they call it, the Laurel and Hardy's. Yeah, but hopefully that makes sense. Like I know it as much as I need to. Like, and I could tell you from a mathematical way why it works. I could show you the mechanics of it. But I don't want to go, and I don't necessarily want to. I don't want that car. I'm not gonna build that one. Oh, you can do the. You can do the. I'll have to send you. I'll have to send you that version. I'll have to send you the 52 cards from where they came from. But it's a whole Don Tolman bit that he does. It's a good 20-page read on the tarot connected to, 52 weeks, 52 playing cards, etc., and how that relates to the 72 and different alphabets and things, and how languages were built. Yeah, pretty good stuff. Or I'll just read it on here sometime. Maybe I'll read it tonight if I'm so inspired. It'll be a long read though. Fuck books, kinda. Well, here's the thing: you can't say fuck books, because the tarot is called the books. The original Bible is the tarot. And talk real shit. That's where it came from. It's called the Book of Cards. The deck is the wheel, the winding, the thread, the yarn, the book. That's all tarot and card magic. Ah, the witch's deck. Yeah, I dig it. Well, whenever I play with cards, weird things happen. Definitely. Like just regular cards, like 52 cards. Always face cards come out. I mean, not always, but it's the same reason, like I only use major arcana. That kind of thing.
That was a terrible aim, girl.
The only difference between tarot and astrology really is at least tarot readers give themselves leniency to kind of fuddle with something. Where if a tarot reader pulls if a tarot reader pulls a card out, they can kind of look at the picture and they might have 10 decks and it'll give them a different feeling and an idea. But if somebody is into astrology, it is what it is. It's close because you could still work with it in the same way. You could say like, well, perhaps it's just going to be a little more difficult, right? Like, here's why you shouldn't start a business plan when somebody want to give you the right signs. There's times you should never start a business, right? Because it's not into. There's going to be communication. So if your Mercury is in certain signs, right? It's not going to work because communications will break down and it'll be hard to start something. You don't start something in certain, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Well, I mean, you don't really need them, right? You don't really need them. I know, I'm with you. I mean, you know how many times have I said just burn all the books? But that's for people that don't know how to read them right. If you're gonna be a non-occultist, if you're going to be an exoterist person, and not an esoteric person, if you're not going to be occulted, then and you don't know what's going on, like then don't read, just burn them. Like you don't need them. It's better to learn the other way. Learn organically and then read a book, and then you'll see. So, is that where you are right now? Well, shit, good go at it, man. I guess you're there. Haha, divine. Yeah, that's a big one right there. Books, no matter how honest, no matter how truthful, no matter how real they are another man's opinions. They are another set of experiences that you didn't have. Yeah, lot to learn from. Yeah, I know. I completely agree with that. the books as ideas and opinions of other people. Yeah, certainly. Can they be helpful? Can they like, if I want to cook a meal, okay, because I'm a chef, I could go get it done. But every now and then, I want to scroll through, Betty Crocker, or open up a book and go, oh, that's interesting. When you listen to somebody talk or you read a book, you go, that's an interesting idea. Let me play with that, and then you find something that tastes better or different or whatever, and that's cool. But anything other besides like a subjective, suggestive opinion on how to cook something, like, okay, certainly, if you want to make a proper bread, you have to put live yeast in there, right? You can't, what are you gonna do, unleavened bread? What are you gonna cook it on? You're gonna cook it you're gonna cook it at 30 degrees Fahrenheit for 10 days. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you gonna put it on? Why not 500 for 22 minutes? You know what I'm saying? So there is the help of books in that way. They'll give you little different philosophies.
I'm scared. You might take my finger.
Here, what you
He said, I've been crafting my own. What are you saying? This shit's really worth trillions, like what we're talking about completely here? Oh yeah. It would take a little bit to decode for some people, but if you get right to it and like, what are you getting out of this? Like, if you know the simple form, if you know shorthand, and what I'm saying is like how to go about adding, modulating, and exploring frequencies and amplitudes and colors and symbols and smells and things. Trillions is an understatement. It'd be enough to build a world.
I'm gonna just put it on.
Oh, they got the little ducks out here. Do they? Oh, the baby ducks are out here. Let me see if I have any snacks so I can give these people. Hey y'all, I have some snacks. Yeah, have at it. It's some rice, but have the rest of it. Yeah. And if the swan comes back, that won't eat out your hand. So enjoy. Yeah. That white one will definitely eat out your hand. The white one will definitely. Here you go. Yeah, enjoy. Yeah, that one there, yeah, it's some white rice, but that white one there is cool as anything. Will eat out your hand. Black ones sometimes. The brown ones, if they come up here, and the swan, if it comes back, definitely. Yeah, well, the thing is, here's the thing is, you could literally initiate someone into something, and if they don't acknowledge it or accept it or understand it, then they're just gonna sit there wavering and being clueless anyways. So it doesn't matter. It's like if you go to a school and you have the best teacher in the world, they're sitting right in front of you right now. It's me, and I could tell you anything. I could teach you anything you want to know. And you sit in the back of the class, scribbling on the desk, and farting and smelling it and watching stupid videos, and then you get through the class. I'll pass you, but wonder why you don't know where you're going and what you're doing. If you just listened, just paid attention for a little bit, and that's what people not willing to do. They're not going to invest their time and attention because they don't think they need to. They think they already have it figured out.
Ready to move on?
There's no more of this to use. He gave us the
Oh yeah, there you go. How much? That's the that's the thing. You said it's self-regulated. I've been trying to tell people that for years. The best thing about knowledge is if you don't, it's always it's regulating on what you can handle. Like you can't really fight somebody out your weight class. You can't unlock a door if you don't have the right key. You can't, and so it's always going to be, it's always whatever you can handle putting into your brain. Like, for instance, okay, I can get out of body. I can see things that like might cause someone never go to sleep again. But because I know what it is, like if I see, you know, the black hat in the corner, that kind of thing, or if I see a monster, if I see something that would be terrorizing, to me, that's just, oh, I see where I'm in what realm, and I get it. But other people, if they saw that, they would shut down. They would shut down their reality, their entire whatever they think of, everything. They would just go no. So it would stop them from, like, you ever watch movies where they get to the end and it's like, you know, don't be scared of the thing that you thought you were, and then the thing just let you go, oh, okay, cool. It's like everything is just like it's an overwhelming part of your imagination. It's like, oh, this is fearful and scary. Don't let it be so. Like, they can't look like this, and it's gonna devour me. And then you just go, yeah, we cool or whatever. And they go, oh, okay. Have a good day. You know, most people like, they don't. Other realms, they're hard. Other realms are difficult. Yeah, I mean, think about how many places you've been, Sai, and think about the things that you've been scared of the most. That probably you allowed it to have energy over you that you should not have, and then when you actually just said nah, it just vanished. Things that shouldn't have, you know, things will play with you. Things will have energy over you, and you'll have energy over things. But we oftentimes, things that we should just give no fucks about, no shits about, no anything, no energy to, we continue to just go. Giving energy to something is like, here's $2, or oh my god, I fear this. Here, let me help you, or oh my god, I'm scared, right? How many times in your life, you know, you've been to some crazy places? You know, like, fuck, you get to deal with just crazy shit sometimes. But like, all in all, not much of it was that bad. Like, in the whole grand scheme experience of life, you've probably only had a handful out of all the experiences you've had. If you had to map them out, yeah, the bad ones fucking suck bad, of course. But you've had some great ones that are probably more plentiful, and you've had average to good ones that are way more than anybody else's. And as long as you just keep going towards the other ones, the bad ones go away. They won't even fuck with you. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, sometimes when I'm talking, I sense myself doing that when because I go out of my mind slightly, just slightly. I'm still there and I'm still here, but I'm talking from a different place. There's sometimes, I might have explained this before. If you ever tried this, like, okay, so I'm sitting here, looking at myself in the camera, right? Now I'm going to put my consciousness right here, looking at me, doing this into the camera, which gives me a third to fourth party perspective of what I'm saying. So I adjust little idiosyncrasies and things that I might say. Not to the degree that I'm going to go, oh, I'm going to fucking download Martian consciousness and give up my body to all of the, and do the Bashar, all that. I'm not going to do that. I'm still maintaining this is still my vessel. But yeah, you got to get to that point sometimes. You can't be so full of yourself. If you're so full of yourself, you'll think that you're the only thing that exists. And that's no good. What up, Lucienne? Am I out of my mind? No, I'm still placed pretty solidly in my body, pretty solidly in my mind. But I get the idea sometimes. It's like when I'm talking to certain people, I'll try to talk to them from a very base level. You're like, oh yeah, great. It's cool, right? The seat is comfortable. The air, it's warm. It's like, holy shit, the temperature, it's like weather. And then I could get out of my mind a little bit and go, do you know why that weather works that way? And then I get out of my body to the point where I was like, what do you want to talk about right now? Like, what level do you want me to? Where can I plant my being to observe this reality? Should I sit here and stare at the grass, or should I look around me and tell you about the ducks and why they like the grass, or should I look above the entire city and tell you why the city is where it is with all the rivers, or should I look at the entire realm and tell you why aliens don't come here too often, or should I look at you have to. You have to give yourself a range of influences and ways you can speak to different ideas, and that is in a sense getting out of your body, getting out of your mind. Is your mind in your body? Your brain is in your body. Your mind is out here. Your mind's out here. Your brain is in here. Oh, earth magic, but words, how about? Yeah. Well, my whole... Oh, I know. Here's the kind of stoner I am. If you talk about 420 like you smoke weed, then you're not a fucking stoner. Then you're just some asshole that just like, oh, it's 420. It's fucking corny. Smoke weed or don't smoke weed. Smoke it when you want to. Like, if you need a reason to celebrate, it's kind of like Christmas. If you can give gifts on Christmas and you can participate on Christmas with your family, but if that's what it takes for you to get down and do it, I don't want to fucking hear about it. Like, I don't, it's not, Christmas ain't supposed to be when you fucking, it's like going out for Cinco de Mayo. So I like to drink, obviously, but I'm not going to go out on Cinco de Mayo and be like, I want to be more drinky than I was yesterday. Like, so 420. How about I just celebrate? Fuck that. I have an idea. I'm going to celebrate Hitler's Day. It was Hitler's birthday, right? So let's celebrate him. Why I got to celebrate like fucking smoking weed? You potheads. That one right there. You like that one? Yeah, I don't even know what I don't deal with days or months, or it's all sideways and crooked to me. No, I'm just saying. I try not to put too much onus on my perception of what days should have. Like all I can do is expect maybe seasonally to be warm or cold, or maybe at night for the moon to be out, during the day the sun to be out. That's like I have very minimal expectations, which I think is a healthy thing, because then I can allow for more fun things to happen. Laughing is orgasmic. Oh, I've with a couple times, or a few or something, laughing during sex and an orgasm is pretty much on par with samadhi. You know what I'm saying? Isn't that like the most high samadhi? You reach that nirvana. Well, samadhi was samadhi, then nirvana. It's up there when you're like laughing at like how absurd it is, but you feel something to a point that's in it, and it's pretty awesome. I don't laugh ever. I don't ever laugh, so you got that. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've definitely been there in, well, like separately. There's obviously peak positions. Like sometimes I can fully put it in my hands when I'm giving energy, but then I'm also feeling it and receiving it. So like if I'm doing energy work, it's in my hands like completely. If I have my shoes off and I'm playing on the earth, obviously sometimes it happens in the back of my skull, and it'll start drooling, and I'll be like, ugh. But yeah, I hear you. Sometimes like I feel it too much in like that middle part of my chest where your heart's supposed to be, that it just like radiates out of me. That's super intense. Holding in a laugh? Yeah, I don't know. I would be like, what's your girl's name? Be laughing at a funeral? Skull, smack somebody? Samadhi. I think it means some muddy. Someone muddy? Well, what is Sai? What's it? Is there a difference? I'm trying because I haven't translated those words recently, but it's some samadhi and nirvana are similar. They're not. How about this? They're not dissimilar. Laughing at a funeral. Yeah. It's I don't know. Like if I were ever to die, I would laugh because I'd be dead, and I'd laugh that no one showed up. But if you did and you didn't laugh, I would be disappointed. I'd fucking be disappointed in every single one of you. Like if I was like, and just died on camera and you didn't like fucking laugh your ass off, and then like next week you're like, hey, what? Did he? Why did he end the show like that? And like, oh no, he died. If you didn't laugh, that would fucking upset me. Nice. Oh no, that would be so hilarious because I mean, people have purposely like on apparently live TV. Apparently, there's been a few, but they immediately like dip off in the commercial break. But if that ever happened, I can expect nothing else. Could you imagine wanting people to be at your funeral and, oh, I'm so sad he died. For what? Don't be. Why would you be sad? Why won't you be happy? Rather than have to hang out here by myself, I could go hang out with my fucking ancestors that are fucking having a dance party doing some wild ass shit. Oh wait, we're right there. Hey, well, I will give anyone this offering. Here's for anybody here. Your offering is, if you can get here, I'll put you up till Sunday, but then you got to dip. It's French Quarter Fest. Fucking come through. If you can find a bus, a plane, a train, a private jet, if you can manifest it, starts tomorrow, goes to Sunday. I'll find us drugs and alcohol. You just bring a positive attitude and a dancey attitude, and it's gonna be like 85 every day. Not supposed to rain. to be glorious. So if you want to come, come. He took a heart. Look at you say you took it. Oh, dude, I would like. You know what? You just said, hey, Sai, you said some mapacho. I do want to smoke a cigar right now. Should I smoke an actual cigar or should I smoke just a little something? Oh, you'll cry when I die? Oh, don't do that. Alright, let's see what I got in my bag. Oh shit, we got the dope dopes right here. Huh. Wait, I have herb in here too, so I'm not trying to. We smoking a pineapple game. It was for someone else because if I'm in the corner and people are smoking weed, they want like something to roll up with, and I don't want to smoke a fucking. You know, I want papers. Roll it up in a blunt. Grow the fuck up. If you still smoke out of papers, I don't trust you. Sorry. I mean, we can, but it's gonna get lipped up, and it's like you just, I don't know. It doesn't taste better. I need a little bit of tobacco in there. Uh-oh. Hey, yeah, hey, Sai, talk to Fire Drake. Tell his ass you'll send him $1 or something, or tell him to send us. Fuck it. Tell him send us both some, because he sent some really good mapacho recently. Well, by recently I mean, shit, it was a couple years ago, but to me it was recent because I still had some. I think we might have smoked some of it one night. Oh, it's just it's a pineapple game, but they are delicious.
After 6 months doing this, you see all the people.
Great protection with great low rates you want. Yep. For a great upgrade today.
I wish I'd turn this up just slightly, but if y'all can hear it. Sai already knows. Oh, no. Should I? Should I roll one up? I suppose I could. But if I do, I'm gonna be too stoned to talk to you guys. I would have to be a little more drunk. And I'd have to be a little more drunk. I'm not that drunk. So unless I'm a 4 drunk or a 5 drunk, I don't like to smoke weed. Because then I'll just get too heady and I'll just get introverted. But somehow, if I get a 4 or 5 drunk, then weed amplifies my drunk, and my drunk amplifies the weed. It's perfect. Like if just smoking a little bit with somebody, if I'm drunk enough, is best. Some Crown. Oh. Yeah. If I'm okay, you already know. If I'm sitting with the right people, and they got a bottle of Crown, or they got some Erky Jerky, or they got some Eddie of the quality dark liquors, and there's some weed to smoke. Oh, I'm in heaven. Then all I need to do is sip it twice and then smoke, and we good. But as a general rule, if I'm just hanging out, I gotta have a little buzz on me, like a drunk buzz. Here it is. What are you saying? Any good drink of choice? Yeah, well, obviously, I think we've discussed this many a times, but I don't know who's been here for it. It takes company for whatever you're consuming, any kind of substance, alcohol included, and like there's some people I can smoke weed with nothing else, but most of the time, if I'm just out in public, I need a drink or two, and then depending on what I'm doing, who I'm hanging out with, like if I really want to have a good time, I'm probably smoking a blunt after drinking Crevassier. But I'm not really trying to go out and spend, $35-$40 on a bottle. Yeah, I'm gonna need less, but it's also dark liquor, which means that can get me into a lot of fucking trouble. Dark liquor, so whether it's scotch or whiskey or even though it's made of grapes, so you got cognacs. I love cognacs, but it's so delicious that it's gonna cost me more. I might have a better time, but I don't feel like buying like a half. Like I don't want to buy a pint. I'm buying a bottle, so it just changes the trajectory of the night. And if I'm drinking that, then a lot of different things are gonna happen. There's not really. Jamie is fine, but so Jameson and a Yinling and some weed and an Irish bar or the late night bar with some hipsters, it's fine. I have a great time. But if I'm outside on the bench, if I get out with people of other backgrounds and heritages, like if I have my druthers, it would be Crevassier, perhaps. Yeah. But because I just do what I want to do. I like beers and drink. I just like to walk by myself. Yeah, cognac's where it's at. But here's the dilemma though with cognac of any sorts, is it's so delicious and so good, and you get the most warmest, like clear-headed buzz. But I like to drink and I want to be out for a while, so it causes me that there's that. If I want to hang out for 5 hours, I'm gonna drink what I'm used to, and I'm gonna keep it clean. I'm gonna keep vodka. I'm gonna keep it beer, and I'll get through the night and I'm good, clean-headed, fine. But once you get into the dark liquor, it might be fun and it might be glorious, but like I'm gonna drink at the same pace, and maybe even more because it's gonna be so delicious that then it's gonna cause like oh no. Oh no! How dare you do that? Oh, hold on. Let me pause this for 1 second, because she's playing a song that I think might screw my. I'm pausing the sound, so feel free to type. Oh, nice. All right. Well, I've done quite a few videos on what the spirit of certain alcohols are. Everybody that does alcohol is a fucking idiot and doesn't know what's going on. It's just like somebody who smokes weed. If you don't know that different weed will affect you a different way, it's like saying a hamburger is gonna affect you the same way a fucking tomato will. It's retarded. Every herb, every substance, every spirit is gonna affect you different. So you gotta know. I would suggest to people, then this seems insane, people that don't drink a lot, drink by yourself. Get yourself a bottle, get yourself with something, and sit in your house, sit in your room, whatever you're doing, and just drink and see what happens. because you don't want to be in public. You know, you don't want to venture out until you know how something's going to interact with you. Too many people, they go out and they drink with their friends, and they have a bad experience. They have like a, holy shit, I didn't know what I was going to do. They'll do a psychedelic and have a bad time. You do whatever. You gotta know what the thing is going to do to you. So like for me, my favorite is tequila, because I started drinking it by myself, and I can handle it best. Peace out. Hey, Sly, good to see you. You know what? It always sucks the people that I know out here. There's so many people whenever I do shows, like whenever they're not working, it's like good hours for them. But it's so that what I'm saying is they're in other countries. Like it's too bad. It's so weird to me that I've only met 2 people from anywhere near me. And all the people that have watched my shows, I've only met 2 people. Everybody knows where I live. I've met 2 people from the city. But yeah, I know hundreds of people from other countries that are like, yo, I fucking need to come to New Orleans. Very interesting. I mean, I've met other people that have been like, yo, what up, Zen? I'm like, how do you fucking know me? Like, I've seen your show. I was like, well, that's weird. I felt a little strange about that. But, you know, I'm like, it's bound to happen, I guess. I'm glad I'm not like popular as shit, because that would be super annoying, because then you can't do anything and somebody's gonna be like all up in your shit all the time. But it is weird when you meet cool people. They're like, you hear this fucking music, you should come and listen. Just come to the festival. Speaking of the word festival, I had a friend growing up. Let me explain this dude. This is somebody that was a little older, and played basketball with him. Knew him through, like, he's much more melanated, a little older, and first dude I really like. You know, we would all hang out at his house. Everybody would go bug out with this dude, and his name was Festival. His name was Festival because he would have a handle. He'd have a handle of gin, Seagram's usually, and we would just go to his house. It'd be early. We'd start drinking, watch South Park, and then go out to a club somewhere. And now he would get hilariously drunk and do the most wildest shit. So everybody's like, this dude is a Festival. So we'd all go and fucking hang out with Festival. Coolest motherfucker. Great basketball player too. And yeah, so like you gotta find the festivals in your life, huh? And I haven't been to an actual, like, a full, like, I haven't paid to go to a festival in a long time. I've been to quite a few, but somehow I just don't have to pay for them. I don't know. So you should find a way to go to a festival every once in a while. I think the last one that I paid for was like Bonnaroo. Anybody been to Bonnaroo? That was a whole thing. If you haven't been, anybody's from America, or even if you're from overseas, you probably know Bonnaroo. It's pretty fucking big. You don't know Bonnaroo? Look it up. It's huge. It's like equivalent to like everywhere's got that one festival that's like, I think if you asked most people, like if I was walking around and I seen some people, I was like, hey, if you've been to Bonnaroo, it could be somebody that's 50. They probably been, and if it was like a 22-year-old hipster or like a 30-year-old hippie they probably been, you know. It's like right in the middle of the country. But But the see what I did? I upgraded all of that, and I just moved to New Orleans. So I got 9 days of festivals over the next 2 weeks that are all free, and I get to watch like almost 500 bands that I won't be able to get to like even a tenth of them. And I'm gonna go, fuck it. Shut down cities, dog. Like Bonnaroo is on someone's farm. It's called the Come Back to the Farm. Somebody shuts down their farm, and it started as a small festival, and then it kind of caught word, and then got some bigger bands. Then people started traveling from out of state, and then after traveling from out of state, people come from different countries, and then then you get like Elton John and like John Legend and blah blah blah, all these like headliners. And but in New Orleans, you just walk down the street and like, oh, that's so and so, and there's that famous actor that nobody, you just don't fuck with them. You just like, you see him playing in the streets. You see if somebody just like walking around eating. Wait, ain't that the thing about actors and professional athletes always want to be musicians. It's a weird thing. Think about it. Anybody that's an actor, they want to become a musician. They always do it near the end of their career. It doesn't go the other way around too often. The only time it's done that way, I think Tom Waits did it. In that way. You don't find too many to go that direction. Because at least as a musician, you kind of, they hear your music. They don't. It's like TV killed the radio star. You can't go the other way, because you're too like you're an image, you're an emblem, you're an icon. You're like a Jesus on the cross type figure, and like, you don't want to listen to Jesus' music. He doesn't make music. He was walking around like you were just like paying attention to like the movies he made. Like, what did he do? Doesn't go the other way too often. Yeah, like iconic. Yeah, in icons we often find icons to be something that we can see, not something we can hear, because you can't point. The things you hear, once that song's off, you can't. It's gone. Where an icon, you can kind of point at it. There's a statue, there's that person, there's that thing. Sorry, my little two friends over here. So anyways, I don't know, there's I'm not sure on the rest of the realm where like places are like Music City. You could say Nashville. I don't think it's a music city. You could say like where Elvis is from. I don't know. I've been to these places. I don't see it. This is music like everywhere all the time. So there's no like one single being. I've seen people that maybe make $20 a day that are as good of musicians as anyone that you've ever heard on the radio. And you can sit next to them and talk to them. So if you've seen Johnny Depp, or if you've seen like somebody that's like really famous movie acting, you can't sit next to them. It's too much. Yeah, image is what you make of it. It's like in the beginning there was the word, there was the sound, and none of that sound became an image. But if you gave someone an image, you can't make a sound out of it. You don't know what sound any of these people that are can't hear that. You can hear maybe what they speak, but the other way around, it works. Here, let's try it this way. You know more music from the 1950s and 60s and 70s, without question, than you know actors from the 1950s, 60s, and 70s. You know music from the 80s and 90s and 2000s than you know actors. It just because video killed the radio star. Can you hear this? If I knew they were all, like, so they played a couple pop songs, which I don't want to put on here because it will kill the whole broadcast. But they're playing a lot of local stuff that I don't think is gonna cause any harm to my channel, all right? Which I don't think is gonna be copywritten. It's just like songs that are played in the city all the time. As D, thank you for hosting. So anyways, I was like, so if I was sure they were gonna, oh yeah, oh, and they're dancing too. These are dancers. Okay, so they're, I think they'll probably just play New Orleans music. I would put them on camera because I don't think they would care, but they're practicing, and I'm not filming people. I think it's rude. It's like I've had people take my picture, just because, fuck, who wouldn't want to take my picture, right? Yes, funny. I just find it like, ask me. Of course you can take my picture. Oh yeah, sure. But so that's the thing is like most people want to be on camera. Like for me, I don't. I used to not want to, and now I just don't care. I don't dislike it or like it. It just is. But I gotta assume most people, like, if you're just walking around taking pictures of people, it's kind of weird. Not me? What do you mean? Like, Lucienne. If someone takes your picture, you're okay with that. Like, some random, or just, hi, duck. Wop wop. Hey, wobble, wop wop. Hey, wobble wobble. What are you doing? Hey, quack quacks. Wobble 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 wobble. You don't like it at all. At all. Do you like do you like your voice? Okay, let me here, let's go through the whole thing. You want to do this? Okay. You obviously think you're good looking enough, right? You don't look like a bottom of a shoe, right? You don't like what you look like. You like the sound of your voice. So the first time you recorded your voice for a voicemail, and you're like, hey, this is, and then you were like, oh fuck, I have to start that over again. Hey, hi, oh shit, and you had to go through it, and you're like, why does this not sound like me? Funny, I used to fucking abhor the sound of my voice on any audio. I completely didn't like it. It was the worst thing ever. And then I don't know what occurred, but I enjoy the sound of my own voice. I don't know if it was something internally that I can feel the sound of my voice when I say something. Or like someone says, "Hey, I like the sound of your voice." I was like, "Yeah, it's all right." I don't know what that is, and I just I gave up on I totally gave up on thinking that I'm good looking or not. I just don't care. Like I become apathetic to should I care how I look. I don't know. It's kind of irrelevant to me. Oh shit! Hey baby, look at this. Hi honey. Mom, mom. You want some snacks? Come here. Come here, snackhead. Let me see if I got any food for you here. Well, I don't know. You gotta give me a second here. Hey Goofy, you want some? I think I gave all the food away. Oh, here you go. Come here, B. Here. Oh, here we go. Is that the waka 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 waka? Oh, waka waka. Here, baby. Come here, haha. Come here, quack quack. Come here. Come here. Come here, baby. Here. I know it's I know as difficult it is for you to get all that snack. I can't leave my begging for nibbles. Here, you can just have it right there. This one knows better. It doesn't know me that well. It knows me pretty well. Here, baby. There you go. All right. My baby. I have not named this one yet. I have not named a lot of them, but I call these ones like turkey ducks. I don't know. I don't really have like I know this one. It has its own thing that it does, and it makes this sound where it seems like it has a cold, and is somewhat laughing, but somewhat talking. Yeah, if I had more food, like I could help this one out, but I gave away my bag of food a second ago. Oh look, can you see the back? It's got the green, the gold, and then the white, and that one's cool as shit. Like obviously, like you know this fat ass how much it took for that one to get up here. So trust me enough to come like within about like a foot from me. Hi baby. I don't have any more snacks right now. I'll feed you tomorrow. I'll get up early tomorrow if you're out. I'll say hello. Get that tail feather working, yeah? Alright. Where were we here? Okay, so hey Lucienne, so you don't recognize yourself when your voice is on camera or microphone or something, and yeah, I find myself to be actually, like it's I don't know, I found my voice at one point to be sounding better on camera, and I looked nicer on camera. Where a while ago I was like, oh, no one should look at me. No one should listen to me. I sound stupid. And it wasn't what I was saying or not what I was wearing or how pretty I was or whatever. I don't know. I just become more comfortable or something. Look at this. Oh, let me pause this because they're playing a song that will probably get this shut down. So give me 2 minutes so I can fuck with this up real quick. You can only have like 15 minutes of this song before I have to shut it off, so I can put like snippets. Oh my god, look at all the baby ducks. Look at the baby ducks. Perfect. Ah, what up, quacks? Mini quacks. And see that one with that feather right there? You see how blue it is? The one right there. See that? I think it, yeah, that will be mine soon enough. I think you're allowed to ask for it. If you know how to speak the language, I think they'll give it to you. I can pay in return with good bird food. Oh yeah, so when you said interesting, I'm assuming you're talking about when I said like the sound of my voice and what I'd look like. Yeah, I don't. It's somewhat like not caring about someone's opinion, because I could sound like fucking Bobby McFerrin. I could sound like name your favorite artist. I could look like, you know what I'm saying? And it's not gonna matter. People are still gonna. I could tell the funniest joke, and someone's still gonna fucking clown on it. It's not gonna. It doesn't matter what you do. You're gonna have people that like you and people that don't like you. And I think I came to that very, very, very stark conclusion that like I could sit out here and someone could have handed me $1 billion for free, just handed it to me. It came from nowhere. And I just start walking around and buying groceries for people, and here's a house, and here's this. And someone would find a way to say that I'm doing it for an invalid reason. And they'd find a way to like try to knock down what the fuck I'm doing. They would try to find a way to what's that, yeah? Oh, this one here? This one is, what is this? What do you call it?
A mohawk? I don't know what kind of duck it is, but it looks like it's mohawk.
Yeah, well, see now, there's one next to my apartment across the street. We call him Elvis. See him like, oh, you got, yeah. And I call them like chicken hawk turkeys or something. Like I
You're an ugly duck.
yeah, well, they're all ducks to me. I call chicken hawk a turkey. You know, I don't know. What is it doing? It looks like it's got good meat on it though, so.
Tasty.
Tasty meat. Cheers, y'all.
Have a good one.
Yeah. Okay, I gotta silence it again. How about this? I'm gonna silence this and then I'm gonna walk somewhere. So Lucienne, give me 2 minutes so I can walk in a different direction. Because the music, I think they're gonna start playing some like very New Orleans bounce shit, which might be fuck my channel up. So give me a second. I gotta mute it. Okay, let's go do some shit. Me piss, and then we'll go walk somewhere and continue this weird ass conversation. I'm only laughing because without interrupt if there's some sort of like algorithm looking for a song that wants to steal my show, which I think is weird. because it's not making any dollars. Like, so they can't really steal off my show. So it would be a really weird thing to like copyright claim my shit, because you can't copyright claim something that has music on it. All right, I'm gonna go find somewhere to piss. Or maybe roll up a blunt. I don't know. I think I might be. I think I'd be perchance drunk enough to get high with you guys. We'll see. We'll have a conversation about it. What kind of bird do you think that was? Was it a bluebird or a raven? No, that was not a raven. Uh-oh. Okay, you guys have to sit here by yourselves in the background while I go do something. Which is, give me a moment here. There you go. Okay, I'll be right back. Give me 2 minutes here. So much better. Alright. So someone offered me an explanation, if you can, on why are you so less drunk after you take a piss? If you don't drink, then I guess you wouldn't understand. But like if you got a piss, you're kind of like an extra 2 decibels. You know, if 10 is the top decibel, obviously like what, 120 would be kind of a lot. But if 10 was the top, and he was like, oh. So if he was like a 5 drunk and he'd piss and you're like, oh, I'm good, I'm like 3. What is that? Who knows? Who knows? Divine. Well, I did turn off the sound earlier because of the music. Let me reevaluate my phone charge here, and damn, we got through a lot of fucking hilarious stuff today, and I didn't even use that much charge. See, it's so weird. Some days, an hour show will use up an entire phone battery. Other times I can do 3 hours. And this one is actually working out pretty well. Check it out. You see, check out whatever you see in there. It looks like 2 eggs. Those are my eyeballs. Kidding, it's a glass of, see, reflection. Oh, Divine, you could not hear me pee, could you? That'd be really weird. People listen to other people pee. That's creepy, dude. I don't. Alright, so check it out. Here's the idea. No Goofy, thank you for taking on the word goofy, because I really like the word goofy, because it's a very low level. It's not snarky. It's not aggressive. It's not rude. It's just goofy. It's like goofy. I think it's a good word. I think it's up there in the echelon of it's fucking goofy. All right, so check it out. Here it's 2 hours 10 minutes in, and I want to go sit down somewhere. I don't want to sit on this park bench. This is not comfortable. It's a concrete bench, and it doesn't serve my purposes. I want to lean back into something, and I want to be around trees. And while there's trees and flowers and wonderful things around me, I really need a park bench. So let me toast this show, and I'll come back in. Give me 5 to 10 minutes. I'm just gonna walk around the park and find somewhere to sit, because now that I know there's enough charge in my phone, I can continue the show. There's plenty more to talk about. We can reset our pieces and figure out where to go from here. Feel free to come back. That'd be cool if you did. It'd be really cool if you did. I'm not gonna do what you think I'm gonna do and do a Matthew McConaughey. It'd be cool if you did. You know, however the fuck he says it. I can't do it right now.
Yeah.
So check it out. 2 hours 11 minutes. I normally make about 120 an hour. So if you want to add to that, there should be, feel free. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. I appreciate it. Or you could just say thanks. Thanks is always a good thing. I appreciate it as much as anything. It's in the description box for anybody new here in the future, because this will be online, hopefully. That music didn't destroy anything. And also, I do have to get away from the music a little bit. Find something that's not like top 40 shit, because that will definitely ruin this broadcast, and it's going to get us taken down anyways. So if you want to, come back. I think just really, like, I know sometimes I'm like, I'll see you guys in 30 minutes, and then I get on a phone call and I got other shit to do. But like right now, I got nothing else to do, and my only purpose is to go find somewhere to sit that's comfortable. So give me like 10 minutes. Feel free to come back. And as always, I remind you, if you don't, or if you do, still take care of yourself. Be happy, be wonderful, be weird, be strange. And put your oxygen mask on first, because the most important person in your experience of life is you. And if I ever have to come back here and live your life, it better be a good one. So make it fun, make it enjoyable. And also, when you get a chance, help others out. Do that. That's a really delightful thing. And I'll see you. Give me like 10 minutes. It's good to see y'all. Peace.